this is a list with names, which makes me really happy because, like, ooh, I would probably forget a lot of it. So, what are we gonna call them? Top tier, great. Fuck you. Alright, delete, delete, delete. Cora! It bothers me that there are no notifications. Thank you so much for your Prime sub, my love. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Enjoy emotes. Melky, welcome back. Yeah, we will do, this is why I want to do a tier list right now as we finish the game, because, like, I did all of the game with summons if a summon was available at any given boss, which means there might be a change of things, like the way I see bosses and stuff might change on my later playthrough. So I will aim to do another tier list once I did that playthrough. With that being said, I can already tell you that right now, like right after finishing the game, and that can also, like, obviously change with time, like recency bias is definitely a thing when you, I think, review media that you have consumed. But if I were to go by how I feel right now, I think Lies of P is definitely on par with From Software titles, and by that I mean the better From Software titles, as in Bloodborne and Sekiro, but I wasn't a Sekiro fan. I will say that Lies of P gets a point reduction due to it mechanically leaning a little bit towards the parrying rather than dodging, which, if you have watched my streams and also my content for a longer time, you know that I love my dodging. That being a little bit limited feels always a little bit shy to me. With that being said, that doesn't mean that game, that Lies of P is shit because of it, obviously. I still think that Lies of P is fantastic. If I had to describe it, it's as if the devs took the narrative approach, as in, like, the way the narrative is being told, a little bit more serious than you would get in From Software titles. So, like, there is lore that you can gather, and there's, like, an actual streamlined story that you're following. Like, I think this game is very straightforward with the progression. From what I can tell, there wasn't a whole lot of optional stuff. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, although I do like my optional bosses in those video games too, I should add. But it's very streamlined, very straightforward, and I think that's really good. And I feel like also the devs, from a mechanical standpoint of the game, like when it comes to gameplay and how it feels, I think they kind of took Bloodborne and Sekiro and merged it together and gave you a best of both worlds kind of deal, which I think, if you are a fan of both of these, it's definitely worth it, and you should definitely go give it a shot. And ironically, Lies of P deserves the hype and praise that it's getting, and we already talked about it a little bit earlier, but I think it definitely deserves to be in the same tier as From Software titles. As far as Souls-likes go, I think it is genuinely the best one that is out. And that, like, oh god, some people would potentially say, but what about Hollow Knight? Again, like, we've already had this discussion a few times as well. While I do think that Hollow Knight has Souls-like elements, I don't necessarily think it properly belongs into the genre as a whole, and I think it's more of a Metroidvania than I would describe it to be a Souls-like. With that being said, if we were to consider Hollow Knight 2, Hollow Knight is also definitely one of the better ones, obviously. But no, Lies of P, high tier game, top tier game, I should say. I think it's an incredible take on the Souls-like genre. And also shows that you can have a cohesive narrative that is being told while still also giving you narrative through items, for the people that like to look at lore more that way. But it definitely shows that these games can also be told a little bit more streamlined, and that it can still be fun. That the fun of Dark Souls games, or Bloodborne or Elden Ring is not just in finding items and, you know, like theorizing about what the lore, what the plot might be, but like also just, you know, generally, like if you have a good plot, you don't necessarily need to do all that. And yes, it's insane that this is their first attempt too, and we are gonna get a DLC soon. So without further ado, let's get into this real quick. Parade Master, it's the first boss that you will encounter. Was alright. I wouldn't say it's great. It was a good introduction. Maybe I should have a middle tier, actually. Let's go here with that. Let's make this green and this yellow, and then add a row above. And we make this color, and I'll just call it good. Generally speaking, I think Parade Master was like a decent, you know, like show of what this game is going to entail. I remember fighting Parade Master in the demo when that dropped, and I didn't like it, and they made changes to it that I think definitely elevated Parade Master. I don't think the game, this boss is like it's neither great nor bad, right? Like it just, but it does what it's supposed to do, and that is like kind of like easing you into the game, and for that it does it really, really well. Scrap Watchmaster, I actually think was great. It also like the game, even though it was one of the like it is the second boss. It shows that the game was not only good in making humanoid enemy types, but like also things that are crawling, like something like Vord, but in cool. I hate Vord. I didn't hate Scrap Watchman. Actually, maybe I'll put him. Let's leave it there. King's Flame Foucault. I don't actually remember how that boss was. Put him here in the middle tier for now, because like I think the experience was a little bit middling. Archbishop, great. Was fucking amazing. It's not quite top tier, but like it's definitely high in the great tier. I should also add that I think the transition to second phase was absolutely fucking cool. I really, really liked that. It was a good time. Yeah, I know it was that, but like I don't remember how I found the boss. What's the boss, by the way? Oof. I'm sorry for spoiling you, Melky. Katya, thank you so much for the 81 months. That's crazy. Welcome in. It's good to see you. I'm sorry my alerts are broken, so you're not showing up on screen, but like I'm seeing you. Thank you so much for the 81 months. Hi, JG. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I think Watchmen was also, by the way, like the reason why I think Watchmen was so good was also because it is yet another introduction into the game further in, right? Like after Parade Master. And like what it does as well is just kind of introducing you a little bit further into the game and what the game is going to have to offer and how to approach certain threats. And it's also the first time that you get the option to summon, and you, I don't know, it was, and like, so, like the first few bosses in these games, they don't have to be anything impressive. It just has to be something that, I don't know, just kind of tells you, okay, this is going to be the game. This is going to be the name of the game, essentially. And I think both Parade Master and Scrap Watchman did exactly that. With that being said, because they had that kind of role, that is also why they are not going to be like fucking phenomenal, but they are going to be good. And that's what a first boss or first bosses should be like. Anyways, Elders of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood, and I think that also entails the entire gank boss fight, I think was great. And hear me out, I usually hate gank bosses, but like I think they really figured out the formula of doing gank bosses and doing them well. The most of the time, during the first one, not the refight, but the first fight, they come in one by one and not like all at once to fucking give you like a really tough time. And I think with that, it's kind of really balanced very nicely. And they all were unique. They all had their own characters, and like it definitely bled through with the boss fight. And I think that was really, really well done. And I don't often get to see a gank fight that actually doesn't leave me just angry or frustrated. Romeo, top tier. First phase was just, a fun big ass puppet with a like pompous. It was pompous. It looked like the king of puppets, and you would never expect that Romeo comes out of it. Romeo was fun. It looked fun. I have to say I did summon for it, so I don't actually know just how hard that fight is, but it was fun. It was really, really fucking fun. And it was once again one, even though I knew there would probably be a second phase, that the phase transition like definitely took my breath away in the sense of like, this is cool. This is epic. So that's why Romeo top tier. Champion Victor, I don't remember, and that's why I'm gonna put him into I. If I don't remember a boss, like it was probably neither bad nor particularly good. I'm gonna put him in there. I remember that there was a big lore dump after his fight, though. But I guess he was unique in that he was just like I reckon the first proper corpse that we fought in boss form, because the Brotherhood, they were obviously like proper stalkers. They weren't a corpse. Puppet devouring green monster. Oh. Ooh. I actually really like that one. We're going to put him into high grade. By 1,000 people? Yes, I remember that stream. Since ONS, yeah. I liked ONS too, but like I think that because maybe dev limitations, like the AI of the bosses sometimes felt a little bit like but no, I liked ONS too. But this fight was fucking good, the gank fight. And Corrupted Parade Master. Worst version of Parade Master. It's just worse. It was also very obnoxious. I almost want to put him into fuck you. I think he was obnoxious. I actually just think he was like, the moveset was stupid, like gap closing, and just the arena was too small for all the gap closing shenanigans that it did. And then it like, I hated him. Actually, fuck you. I'm gonna put you there. That they go into the same tier. I think they were both very great, and it didn't feel reused either, because like obviously lore wise there was a reason why they came back, and I like it also was a different fight altogether as well. Definitely in the same tier. I think they like reusing a boss and being able to keep that reused boss in the same tier as the original one is quite difficult to do. So there we go. My waifu, I love her, Laxasia. She goes in there. Enough said. Fucking epic boss fight. Like, there's nothing more to say. Also, woman. Simon Magnus, Awakened God. It was good. Wouldn't say great. Nameless Puppet. If I maybe had played the game as intended, he would be in top tier. Right now, he's in great. I like with the way I played the game, it was a little bit frustrating. You can definitely do this with purely dodging, but the windows aren't tight, and it feels a little bit clunky if you do it the dodge route. With that being said, I think it was fucking fantastic. And like maybe after a day or two, I would put it into top tier anyways. But like with recency bias, I would put it into great right now. Like Sasia, my love, you are my love. And watch your fight with it. I actually think that one was really, really cool and fun. I think Puppet Devouring Green Monster was also like a jaw-dropping moment. Even with parrying, I put him high grade. Fair. Mad Donkey. First NPC fight was good, I guess. Puppet of the Future. Oh my god. Mad Clown Puppet can go fucking suck it. Walker of Illusions. Okay, I hated the fight, but like the atmosphere and the I have to give it that it kind of got to me. It was freaking me out. I'm not gonna lie. Walker of Illusions kind of goes in here. Door Guardian, go suck it. I fucking hated you. A worse version of Tower Knight from Demon's Souls. And that says a lot. Tower Knight was actually cool. For its time, it was cool. But either way. Yeah. White Lady. I think she was great. Not just because she's a woman, but like also because of that. Survivor. I don't remember him all that much, so I reckon he would go in here. The Atoned. I don't remember that one either. Owl Doctor, I remember. She can. Rubber Weasel can go suck it. Red Fox. We cannot. Hang on. Oh fuck. Hang on. Didn't fight. We didn't fight these two, so we can't actually rank them. With that being said, I don't remember a lot of the NPC fights. I do remember them being there, and like some of them, like the one that I really, really remember is the White Lady. Her entrance was also really cool. I guess like if there was like a criticism about these NPC boss fights, of which there are like a decent amount, because you know the whole stalker job thing is like apparently something serious within the world of Lies of P, within Krat. So it makes sense that they are given like this mini boss role. With that being said, considering their importance, I actually feel like they almost fell a little bit flat. Like I don't remember. I remember the Mad Donkey because he was the first one, but like he was neither. Maybe I'll put him into good actually. He wasn't terrible, but like I don't know. I kind of wish, I suppose, they would be a little bit better considering the importance of stalkers within the lore of Krat. And in that sense, they didn't really deliver all that much outside of the Brotherhood fight, which also technically is an NPC fight, but it's a gang NPC fight, and so it works already a little bit differently. Was the one by the railway? I think so. I think I got them all. We'll never fight. No, we will do a terrible playthrough where we will fight those two. It's about the trophies too. But yeah, with that being said, right now, with recency bias in mind, I think if I had to give Lies of P a rating, it would be right now a 9 out of 10. Well, 8.5 out of 10. 8.5 to 9 out of 10. Around that range, which means it's pretty fucking highly rated, which makes sense because, like, I would rate it similarly to Bloodborne, which is one of my favorite games of all time. So you know where I'm going with this, right? Lies of P is really fucking good. For the people that are afraid to commit to a game such as this, because, you know, Souls games are notorious for being difficult and such, like all of that stuff, which is super understandable. It also comes with a little bit of a commitment if you go into a game where you might have to fight a boss several times, right? With that being said, Lies of P does a really, really cool and great job in offering you a bunch of resources that you can use in order to make fights easier. And I think Lies of P does a good job at that. There are a few bosses that are missing these summoning pools with which you can summon a specter that is going to help you fight that. And for those bosses, I almost wish they would have also added summoning pools for those, just for the sake of, you know, like actually offering even more accessibility for those people that might want to have that. Because there are plenty of people who don't want to dump the time into a video game just to find one single boss, right? And not only that, some people also just kind of want to enjoy the ride of the game without having to deal with the difficulty. And all of these points are completely valid because people play video games differently. Now, I will try to learn the game in its entirety, hopefully eventually soon, with a Deathless run. Tune in for that if you would enjoy that. With that being said, when I do my first playthrough of games such as these, I try to just really use all the resources available to me to just, you know, like have like a casual fun experience with a video game without having to without having to get frustrated. And so I did summon in all of these fights where there was a summoning pool available, and I had a really almost easy time, I would argue. Like, some bosses will still give you a little bit of difficulty, of course, but like generally speaking, I had like a pretty decent and easy time with a lot of the content provided when I did use those summoning pools. So I think they are like a really, really great accessibility option. That's my thought on Lies of P. And to finish this little ramble, I am really excited for the DLC. I want to explore more of Lies of P. I almost wish there would be a little bit of optional content within the game that leads you to a few different areas, because like I loved exploring the areas. The areas look really great and well done. And I wanted actually more of that. So I'm a little bit sad that there was not actual like proper optional content. And if the devs decide to make another IP that isn't just Lies of P or Lies of P DLC, I genuinely hope that they will consider also, like, I don't know, like tweaking around a little bit with like some optional areas and stuff like that, because I think they did areas really well. I think they just did the entire game incredibly well, and I'm excited to see what the devs have in store for us, outside of course of the DLC that will be dropping, I think, in July, around that time. And we will obviously be streaming it day one, I hope, if the money allows it. Anyways, that's my review. Yep. Gotta go. Thanks for the stream. Thank you so much for being here, Azubi. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for hanging out. Y'all, we are going to